everyone like getting their text message, watch out, guy in the park.
Oh God!
Watch out for Frank.
Don't get near him. He might play Wonderwall.
Oh,
and
right.
to find like, other people who also enjoy that. That's like, you're my best friend.
Put on Hammer Smashed Face, Cannibal Corpse. And you know how he starts that song, right? And he's like, what's going on here?
I watched probably... Sorry, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so we're working on new music. So our next album is going to be pop.
He might be having a gray long hair. He might have been playing with Nightwish. I'm not sure. Yeah, other than that.
I thought you were talking about yourself.
Yeah, me too.
All right, everyone. Welcome, dear mother. Welcome, everyone.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, dude, thank you so much for inviting us to the channel, man.
Yeah.
Thank you
Awesome.
so much for having us.
Pleasure.
We're so honored to be here with you.
To be honest with you, I am honored because you guys are amazing musicians. No, seriously, that's for sure. Number one. Number two, I'm talking now to 3 people at the same time. I think normally the interviews that I had so far were 1 person or 2 people at the same time. So this is even better now. I like that a lot.
Nice.
Overkill.
Right.
Oh man, yeah.
How is everyone doing? Let me know.
I'm scared to talk, so
Yeah,
I'm
you're
doing
just
great. Yeah, so I will start. Yeah, doing great. It's an awesome day. It was sunny. Now it's not sunny. We're back to normal London weather. So, yay.
Same here.
Same here. Yeah,
Same
man.
here.
Same here. It was super sunny out here. It was nice. And then typical Dutch weather.
Nice.
Let's talk about the weather. No, it's good. But like we're working our asses off for the new releases. And actually Friday we're announcing our upcoming album title and artwork.
Yeah.
Through our newsletter. So that's man. Great fun times.
That was one of my questions, actually. I can already start with that because I always read the new Dear Mother record. I was like, okay, is this going to be a self-titled record or didn't they plan a name so far? So thank you for letting me know already.
Well, the album is going to be called Bulletproof.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Nice one.
Oh.
Took ages till we actually like settled on the album name. So that was
yeah, it was a hard one.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's a good title.
Bulletproof.
We hope so.
We hope so, yeah.
So far, 100% of the people that know it like it, and it's you.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, man, amazing.
That's true.
To be honest with you, I really think so because nowadays, and I by the way, I really like the fact that you have the same influences, on bands that I think we're the same age, 15.
Awesome.
So that's probably what's happening right now, right?
15.
I was just about 15? To say that. Yeah, 15. I'm 15.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I was just saying that all the new bands or new records are, for instance, Korn, The Serenity of Suffering, The Paradigm Shift. All those new records are having such a, I don't know what is going on with the titles, man. So it's good to have like a title, super short, Bulletproof. There you go. I think that's amazing.
Oh,
yes.
I'm happy you like it. So it's
My
good.
God.
That's
Yeah, man.
That's straight to the point. That's a good thing. Many of my subscribers know at least 2 of you, of course, from the lane. First of all, of course, Meryl Bechtold. I pronounced the name the right way, Bechtold?
Yeah.
Yeah, she really good.
There you go. On the guitars, of course, Joey on the drums, and then David on vocals. And now the first question that I had was, of course, who is playing the bass?
Ooh.
That's actually, it's well, on the album we have a great bassist, Werner Erkelens.
Yeah.
Very good bass player, and he actually tracked the whole album. So we're very lucky, to have worked with him.
We've worked with him. He's done an incredible job. He's super grateful for having him. Life-wise, we're not sure if possibly might be him, might not. The life sort of environment of the band will be different apart from the 3 that you see right now.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, speaking about bass players, I think one bass player right now is free. Okay.
Oh,
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 oh.
I don't know. He might
Tell us.
he might be having gray long hair. He might have been playing with Nightwish. I'm not sure.
Oh.
Yeah. Other than that,
I thought you were talking about yourself.
Yeah,
No.
me too.
no, I don't play
Yeah.
Nightwish.
John, your bass
We were
player.
like, really?
Oh, man.
I play drums and
yeah.
a bit of guitar, but not the
Awesome.
no bass. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. But Marco, yeah. Oh, I
A
haven't
great
thought
guy,
about
by the
Marco.
way.
Yeah, I
Marco.
think so, right? Man, when he announced his departure, boy, people were completely devastated. It was so sad.
I get that because he's first of all, of course, he's a very nice guy and he's like has an amazing voice as well. It's like super typical for the Nightwish sound.
Yeah.
So I guess that, I understand definitely why it's like people feel heartbroken about that. Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be very tough.
Yeah, definitely. But like reading from his statement, like the reason of departure, it's like it's quite understandable. It's like this year, and like the music industry, especially like what surprises me, in fact, was like somewhere as humongous as Nightwish can be so jarring at the same time. So it's literally, I feel like at this moment, like the big bands and like the small bands pretty much say like, facing the same things from a different perspective when their label is jarring them into like this small box of like exploitation versus smaller bands, medium-sized bands not having the enough resources sometimes to be able to get out of that. So it's very sad, but at the same time it's sort of reassuring of like, well, it's all fucked, so you might as well have fun.
And you can say that on YouTube, man.
Oh, sorry.
You're right. I'm gonna edit it out, but that's actually true. Yeah, know, it's so interesting because I agree. When I read this statement, there were two major factors, in my opinion. First of all, of course, his personal side. He wants to spend time with his family. But then I thought for a second, wait a minute, because I know he has some side projects still going on. I think he didn't quit there. So that was kind of weird. And then the second one or the third one, he's not. He quit everything.
I don't know.
No, he didn't. I don't think he quit his side project. He said that he's still remaining there. If I'm not mistaken, now I would be just fishing from my memory.
Right. So that leads me to what you said, the label. And it's so interesting because so many bands, even bands where people think, wow, they probably make a lot of money, still have, real jobs next to being in the band. People don't really realize nowadays, it's not like it used to be 20 years. You guys remember when MTV still was MTV without game shows? Those contracts are not there anymore. So I can see almost what is happening behind the scene, but I don't want to say anything. But it's kind of crazy.
It's definitely definitely a challenge. But I think that like we all love music and making music, and it's like a super passion. So you do whatever it takes to be able to do that. So I think that of course it's not what it used to be. But to be honest, I've never experienced that myself. So I'm not that old.
No.
Yeah, I know. Meryl is 15 for everyone again. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you guys know Heaven Shall Burn? Probably, right? The band?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, great. The drummer, Christian,
yes.
super nice.
Yeah, and he's a teacher because there's a documentary out there. That's exactly what I was just about to say. That's so funny, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and this now leads me to the second big issue right now. The biggest issue currently, the Corona situation, because it really affects a lot of smaller bands, because again, the most money I think bands make on tour or with merchandise nowadays.
Or like Patreon, things like that.
Right.
I think that indeed, like especially like those big bands are very much suffering because they're for them who really, that's like their main income. And I think for the smaller bands, like the people have like a job next to it or something. But for the for those bigger bands who really rely on touring and stuff, it's like a big like punch in their face. I think.
Yes. It's
Definitely.
interesting. Yeah, it's so weird, you know, and the worst part is, I think, for all the musicians, not knowing when it will actually be over, because if they say, you know, July next year it's going to be done, or maybe not next year, you know, fingers crossed, but maybe July this year or whatever, then you can calculate, you know, but not knowing when it's going to stop, I think that's the worst situation ever.
Yeah, man, and just like we're releasing an album in July,
Right,
and
there you go.
it could be the album will be outdated when we actually can play live again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like for us, the whole COVID situation, it's like those two guys, they are in England right now, and I'm in the Netherlands. We can't even see each other, so we can't do like everything we have to do online. It's actually pretty fun because David smells. So, but like, you know, it's difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
And we have the problem of trying to release a music video like every 6 weeks.
Mhm.
And luckily, like now comes the compliment, David. Luckily, David is an amazing videographer.
Apart from smelling.
And, apart from the smelling side. So yeah, it's also a fun challenge, you know. That's the way we try to see it. Like, yeah, of course it sucks, and of course the band isn't thriving as we should be, but yeah, we'll manage, and we're coping with it.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting you brought it up. I don't know who exactly said it. I think it might have been Korn, because they were, I think, had just released another song with the second band, Love and Meth. I think it's called Love and Death. Right. Love and Meth was the other song, right? That was a song by Korn, Love and Meth. Yeah. Anyway, so so he was saying the same thing, that normally you release a record and then you have, of course, to support the record. You know, so that's now being really weird. You know, now you're gonna be touring maybe next year. You know, and they'll be like, yeah, and now our new record is out. By the way, it came out 2 years ago. Anyway, this is a tour. You know, it's so weird.
Yeah, I already like made a joke as well. Like, you know, we're probably going to do our first tour when we have 3 albums out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Massive set list.
Oh,
Like,
man.
But
well, that's true.
Let's not play the song from the first album. Let's not play the songs from the first album now.
Yeah, just like
it will be the first time we will be playing them live.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting as well, because I think that that whole album system is probably changing as well with Spotify. You know, like releasing songs sort of more, I would say, like what did you say, like more consistently putting out songs and keeping things, I don't know, out there is maybe like how like the direction will change to, instead of like doing albums only.
Right.
And as well, like, I guess so, like it's kind of what we're experimenting with as well, as like putting, you know, more singles out in order to, you know, when the album comes out, then that's that, but then it's gone as well, right? You've got like 12 songs, you worked really hard for that, like, you know, invested 2 years into that, and then it's just out. Bye.
No.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it's really changing because of those platforms as well. And you have to adapt anyways. You can't just stick to, you know, to cassettes only.
I love that. No, I think that format has changed ages ago. In fact, I think it's for metal and rock musicians, we only realizing it now because, you know, still we're releasing albums, but like pop artists, the artists that sell these arenas, you know, the big shots of not necessarily our genre, they work on a single basis. The artists release singles only. Like their albums a very rare occasion. Yes, Dua Lipa's released the album.
I wanted to say that,
but
Dua Lipa, man.
Yeah, man, oh man, we're gonna go see it together.
Yeah, man, definitely.
But yeah, the single aspect is the most powerful one.
Yeah.
You have to even, like, you know, don't lie to to yourself when you listen to music. Oh, like I don't lie to myself of like I don't listen to albums anymore. Like I cherry pick songs. Like unfortunately I do. And so does the rest of the planet. I believe so. Yeah, it's times times changing.
Right.
In fact, changed. But as a rock and metal community, we should probably adapt with that as well.
No, but like pop productions are way easier to do as well. Like if you do a metal production, you need to be in the studio and track everything as much with the same drum setup as you can. If you're gonna do that with every song, you might. Well, if you don't have the luxury to keep your kit there, it might, it's not. Or maybe we should do a metal album with just
that's true. That's true.
Okay, so bye, Joe.
I'm down.
No, but I think those might be excuses within that of just like I don't believe the metal production is the hardest production ever done. Like pop artists still release songs that are recorded with the entire band. And these are things like I don't see anything. I don't see any excuse for metal musicians unless the only thing you want to do is with a massive orchestra.
Right.
In the Royal Albert Hall. Okay, then we're talking something else.
Right.
But other than that, release music of a top quality. Come on, man. 21st century, 2021. We have the tools to do that.
It's so interesting that you brought it up because I was introduced to this, almost new wave of independent artists from the United States, Tom McDonald and all those rappers. And it's exactly like you said, they only release single after single. So that you're completely right. It's so weird nowadays, but it's true with them. I mean, maybe it has to do with the fact that, again, they're independent. So there is no label pressuring them like, hey, you need to release the record by that day. On the other hand, if it really goes into that direction, I would really miss that, that feeling. And by the way, I miss it already nowadays. Just knowing, okay, next week, there's going to be a new record. I can go to the record store. You guys remember that? Listen to the CD, be like, oh yeah, that's it, and actually have it, physically. I miss those days.
Me too.
Yeah, but I think like you mentioned like quite an important thing as well. Why I think that albums are still legit in rock and metal scenes because I think it's part of the collection, like collectors and living to that moment of the album and the fact that I believe that. Especially like metal fans are very passionate people in general, and would love to support the band and love to have the album as a part of their collection.
Yeah, true. It's something that all actually brings a massive income for the bands. That is an outdated format that we still produce, and we are, I would say, apart from jazz artists and blues artists who might still be recording cassettes and vinyls, we are keeping that alive. Again, I'm talking for the community, not for the band. Just like but as a genre, like there's been millions and millions of albums sold in metal and rock and metal music, and I think we are the last genre of selling of such massive quantity and keeping the artist afloat. And that's wonderful on in its own way.
Right.
But
I mean, there's like a second big scene of vinyl again, right? People really like to invest in vinyls again, especially when it comes to rock and metal. I saw that and I was like, wow, this is really not like 10 years ago. So this is another cool direction that music is going. I like that a lot.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I didn't grow up in vinyl times, so for me, getting vinyls now it's just like, that's cool. That's really cool. Looks like something modern, which is not modern at all. But I love vinyls just for the fact that you have this massive like sheet of things, that you have massive art, album art, and like the art is everywhere, and I love that. Just pictures.
Right. Oh man, it's true. All right, speaking now, let's speak about your music, because I remember listening to the first song I actually listened to by you guys was Symbiose. And
all right,
I was really blown away. I'm going to tell you exactly why. First of all, the music video clip is so insane. Who came up with that concept?
David did.
David, that's all David.
Yes.
Music
Yeah,
videos,
100%.
100% David.
That was so, I don't know. It was, I mean, the combination, and by the way, guys, right now there, you have to watch it. The combination of those, I have a question, by the way. How did you get those shots? Were they copyright free? Because it looked like it were like scenes from movies or something. What was that?
John, I watched probably, sorry, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
I
man,
watched a lot of 9 hours, like to 12 hours worth of commercials, just like straight on. Like I sat in a chair, I had food. Obviously, I sped out the footage just to go through it, and it's all I found on YouTube and some archives and some everywhere that I could have potentially pull it out. Like these commercials are so outdated. Obviously, they still under copyright law. Right. But if they will be chasing up for that, I give them all the clues to be like, okay, fair enough, guys. If you still care about those commercials, I will take the video down. But yeah, no, those are all legit commercials. Many of them that I know, and not only commercials. There's obviously Teletubbies and etc. So I wanted to like dig deeper within that. But yeah, no, because I'm a 90s kid. This is my childhood, basically. This is how I was brought up, watching this for hours and hours. When I wanted to watch Power Rangers, I had to watch like 15 hours of commercials between those. So yeah.
It was so funny, man. The first scene, I think, when this girl was just like, nah, nah, nah. I was like, I watched it over and over again because the way she was moving with her mouth, I was just, man, there's just something about it. Really, really polarizing. I mean, you did a really great job.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And we were as blown away as you were. Like, he didn't show us anything but the final product. And he didn't want to share what he was going to do. Like, the only thing he got was he gave us a little hint of something like, guys, I maybe need you to go through some stuff because I need some other fragments. Mm-hmm. But he never sent it to us. So he was like, I think you guys are going to love it or hate it, but I think it's brilliant. Here it is. And we were like, what on earth is happening? What is happening? Mm-hmm. And yeah, man, love it.
Really awesome. Brilliant, really brilliant. Now the song is even more brilliant, to be honest with you, because I really enjoyed. First of all, you guys have that amazing clarity in your sound. I thought it's really cool. And also you include a lot of, layers, background layers, especially towards, or actually when the pre-chorus and the chorus kicks in. So I like that a lot, especially in Symbiose. That was a great chorus. And who is actually the main songwriter, or is everyone writing a part?
I would say everyone. Guys are in charge of the instrumentation, Meryl and Joey. I'm not entirely sure how when that song was written instrumentally, so that's more question to Meryl and Joey. But then we record and bounce it back and forth constantly. So it's always like it's a team effort to finish it off. But yeah, Meryl is there to blame for awesome instrumentation.
Yeah.
So he's the one that's doing all those crazy layers that I would not even think of. Like I don't hear them really. I hear them, but like I wouldn't think of putting in there. And then Meryl just like, oh, I need those airy stuff. And yes, she layers them on, and I'm like, I was like, this sounds so cool.
Yep.
Which then makes it much easier for me to come up with something interesting. Like whatever vocals that I'll put on that sound good. So those easier for me.
Yeah, awesome.
But we also we worked also well together with Jimmy Alexander. Second's band was Awaken I Am. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Awesome.
And he actually went through our songs to kind of clean it up and wrap it up ready for production, basically. And I think that yeah, like it was really nice to have like a pair of fresh ears to go over it as well, and to yeah, just freshen things up a bit. So definitely credits for him as well there. Yeah,
200%.
but it's been a very fun process because, well, like Joey and I, we were already started like working on music before David was there. Because I knew that I wanted to do something different as well. So I started working, writing like instrumentals. And then when David came in the picture, it was really fun because we just sent him like the songs that we already had, like without vocals. And then having his ideas was really inspiring. And I think we only had to like send it back and forth like one time. And that was that.
Yes,
it was like such a natural process. It's a match made in heaven.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I really agree. And the funny thing is, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Joey.
No, sorry, man. Like I remember talking about a match made in heaven. I remember having a conversation with David, and he was like, "Yo, dude, I love everything about this. I only like the only thing I wouldn't like is blast beats, like the tick, 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 tick." So I was like, "Okay, sure." And then the first song we recorded, I did a blast beat, and kind of just to annoy David, and it's gonna appear on the album. So match made in heaven. Love you, brother.
It's actually annoying, David, every single time I listen to it. It's like, why? Why would we do that? Why?
This was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's the only thing missing.
You weren't there.
I love the song, everything that's done. Please don't play the blast beat. Just like, what's the point of that? Like, there's no need. Yeah, sure, David. Sure.
Yeah, sure. The first song, yeah, like it's in Vertigo. It's the one that's
There's space and time for a blast beat. But I have to agree with David. Sometimes I'm like,
Thank you, Jim.
I agree.
Right.
I
Some guys just overdo it. Right. It's definitely. Like sometimes I feel like they're forced to include a blast beat and a crazy show-off guitar solo. It's just like, okay, here we go again. 30 seconds of just look how good I am.
Yeah,
well, we have all of that in the same song. So
yeah, we have like 15 seconds of blast beat and like 1 minute of guitar solo on the album. So the rest of it is pure music.
5 second chorus and
like how can we piss David off? Right.
Right. Meryl, by the way,
see the dynamic.
That's true. Meryl, I was watching some playthroughs of your songs that you played on guitar. And, I always like to do that because then you can really focus on a single instrument. And there I could really, enjoy the riffing. Man, so good.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to play the songs, I have to say. Like it puts a smile on my face. So I think that's a good thing.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has to do with the fact that we're almost the same age, one generation, but it just, the way you guys play your instruments is way more appealing to me that I don't know, maybe some old school. Of course, we all love Slayer, Metallica, I don't mean those bands, but it's just, you can really hear out the influence. It's just, when it comes now to the drums, 100%, and the guitar for sure. I can just, I mean, you know what I mean. It's just so good, man. I love it.
Nice. Thank you so much. Yeah. And it's as well like Joey inspires me a lot. Because like when I write riffs, I can just hear Joey in my head.
Joey is incredible drummer. Like one of I said in the previous stream, I'll say it again. He's like very, very groovy as in a metal. Like I haven't heard anything like that.
Right.
You're not that smelly at all, man. It's just it was just jokes. I love you. Now I think that's the great chemistry that we have. Like those two guys are two of my biggest inspirations as well. Like, and this is Meryl. Like this is our third project together, and just from the first second up until now, it just clicks.
Yeah, but there's a difference.
But David got the same thing, only that this is the first project, but it's awesome. Like it just clicked, and there's trust and there's just inspiration, and that's awesome. It works. For us, it works.
Joey, the way you play the drums really seems so effortless, and David was right. It kind of reminded me of, maybe some drummers from the late 90s or something, because you didn't go over the place, completely insane, but you really did it so smooth, and your timing is always on point. So that was definitely something sticking out.
Thanks. Yeah, actually, because I know everyone thinks that I'm buffed and very strong, but I'm not. So I have to, it has to be effortless for me to work, because as you know, in metal, you have to hit hard, really hard. So every snare has to be an insane hit.
Mm-hmm.
And because I have no muscles at all, it has to be effortless. It has to be smooth. And so, that's what I needed to practice or work out. But I obviously don't. So practice till it's effortless. And it isn't effortless, of course, but it is. It's just the way I play, and I need to play to make it sound big.
Yes.
So, but thanks for the compliments, man. It's awesome.
For sure. I also played in 2 bands, and the first band that I played in, I was 16, and I remember that was 2003 when I turned 16. Yes, I was born 87.
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember our drummer, I'm gonna say his name, Angelo, back then. I don't think he's watching the channel. He was a good drummer, but he was not really a fan of music. He was just a good drummer because his parents, forced him to play an instrument, one of those. And there was because Meryl just said that you guys, bounce the ideas off each other. Perfect. With this drummer, I couldn't even talk to him. I was like, maybe play ding, ding, dun, dun. And I said, of course, dun, double bass, right? Just like musicians talk. He's like, what? So I don't know. Somehow we couldn't really work. So it's really good that you guys have that chemistry, of course, because you were in so many projects before. But even with David, I mean, it's you can just tell at least you 3, I don't know, the session bass player, but you guys definitely have that core, and that's good, man. That's really good nowadays.
And that should be the start. That should be the start. When you're starting a band, there should be a core or inspiration, or you should be on the same level. That's a starting point.
Right.
And from there, hopefully magic happens.
It definitely is. And I must say, it's, for me personally, it's very rare. In fact, I've never experienced that, the connection that we have. And it's, it's, first of all, it's a musical level. I absolutely love everything that Meryl writes. And she never delivers anything that's poop to me. See, I said poop. I didn't say the F word or S word. So it's like, I know that Meryl's not throwing any bad ideas my way. All her riffs are on point, awesome. Everything's groovy. Everything is out as I would imagine it to be. It's brilliant. And it's just not just the music side that absolutely adore. What motivates me hugely is that guys are so driven. They are working for their mother 24/7. And you usually have that, so one carries the band, the other ones are sort of laying there, be waiting what's happening. And especially in my personality, I when I don't see the drive, I don't deal with the thing, so I would rather quit. But when I see the drive, I want to outperform it. So there's this incredible healthy challenge who can do more for their mother. And the same in songwriting, the same in any sort of aspect within the band. And it's just, for me, it's incredibly inspiring. It's beautiful. And I haven't experienced anything like that in any of this is the first time in my life that I've, done that. So I'm super, super grateful for that. And the album speaks for itself, because I listen to it all the time. I don't want to sound up my own bum. But I listened to it. I'm super proud. I haven't created anything like that in my 50 years old career.
I'm really looking forward to this one. I mean, the new record is going to come out July 16th. Still a few months, but I can't wait, man. It's going to be awesome. I was reading, David, this goes out to you. I was reading your main influences, Slipknot, okay, and then Robbie Williams. And then I thought for a second, I was like, hold on a second. Then I went back and checked out 12 Years in Exile, and I could really tell a bit of Robbie Williams influence right there. I'm not kidding. I was like, aha, yeah.
Well, first, again, I'm a 90s fan of Robbie Williams, although he's more like 2000s, isn't he? Maybe.
Take that, 90s.
90s.
Yeah, true. Yeah. And I love pop. I love pop music. And so Joey does as well. So like Robbie Williams, for me, I think like Robbie Williams is so much more rock and roll. There's so many other people that say they're rock and roll. So yeah, no, I would love to meet that guy. He's so funny. He's incredible singer, and I think he's a great songwriter and hopefully human being. I don't know to speak on that. So yeah, that's my influence. And my mom loves him as well. So I guess that came from that.
Win-win situation right there. It's interesting to always have different influences, and when I say different influences, it doesn't always have to be just one genre. And I'm pretty sure that this applies to Meryl and Joey as well.
Definitely.
Yes, 100%. It's not only metal I enjoy.
And it goes for all of us. Like you can't, it's just not that. I'm not going to stereotype metal, but I think you need to, like, there's not only one food you like, right? It's like there's a lot of good music out there, and it's not only metal. Mm-hmm. And at least that's what we all three think. So that's basically it.
Right.
But I have to say that if the metal is good, it's my favorite.
Ooh, yeah.
No, yeah, 100%.
If the metal is good.
Yeah, if the metal is good, oh man.
That's
I'm gonna eat it.
But it's actually pretty difficult, at least in my opinion. I'm pretty sure you guys had the same experience. When you like metal and, for instance, you go to a party or something and you would turn a metal song on, people that don't like metal would roast you. And they say, well, you are metalheads. You only listen to metal. At the same time, they are the fanatics being like, no metal,
Yeah.
Right? Dude, that's the truth right there.
Yeah.
You're a world problem solver. Oh, yeah, hallelujah.
Yeah, you would come to the party and, us, we like listen to everything, enjoying everything. Right. And let's say like the metal song we pop in, we would enjoy it too, Yeah. They're like, no, this is gross. Oh my God, my ears, I'm dying. Satan is here.
Right.
And yeah, it's just like, what's going on,
How many times, right? That happens every time, once you're drunk, you're like, oh, whatever, Cannibal Corpse, then everything's going to be good. But,
I wouldn't throw them right there.
Yeah.
No, there's actually really a situation like that. I remember going to this house, 3 people were living there. The one guy was really chill. The other guy was a magician. He was doing his stuff. And the third one was like a typical, like, shh, quiet, it's 9 p.m., one of those guys. And that was the guy always complaining about maybe Papa Roach and Biscuit, like Last Resort, songs like that. So my friend Toby, he's also in the band, he's playing in Munich. He was like, you know what? Let's see what he's going to do with that one. And he put on Hammer Smashed Face, Cannibal Corpse. And you know how he starts that song, right? And he's like, what's going on here? That was the funniest thing ever. Right.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah, but it's true. I mean, right. Yeah, I just found it harder. It's really vice versa. Like Joey just agreed that when it comes to metal, it's like, no, we don't want to listen to metal, but we have to listen to their stuff on the radio, on television, on every party, every club, restaurant, constantly. It's so weird.
Yeah,
right. That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but I think as well, like metal is a music genre you have to learn to listen to as well.
It's like beer.
And you need to kind of come across the right things for you. Right. Like if you're gonna start off with Cannibal Corpse straight away.
Oh man. Yeah, right.
You need to warm up a little bit.
Yeah,
that.
for sure. You always have those. I was talking to Vicky from The Agonist, and she told me like that she also has, that typical, or she had the typical transitional phase that we all have. We start with Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, Korn, Slipknot, and then slowly you're getting up there. But it's true, because when you listen to Cannibal Corpse for the first time, you're gonna be like, what is that? Death music? What is that? What's going on here? So I agree.
Bless
Feel
them.
more, louder, heavier.
Right. You summed it up perfectly.
Yeah, but it's true. I mean, even to this day, I experienced that a few times. I remember last year we had same thing in Holland, and I think in the UK as well. We had that June, July almost break. Of course, it was not a real break of COVID, but people just thought it's gone because sun was out. Everyone was just going out like nothing happened. Right? Same thing happened here.
Yeah.
And I was outside with another friend of mine who's also in the band, and he wanted to show me another song he just released, and people were just looking at us on the street like, oh, what is that? So I don't want to talk too much about it, because when I was 16, 17, 18 till now, I was always confronted by those kind of people. And at the end of the day, I found out they don't understand us, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing. People like us, we understand each other, and I'm pretty happy with that. Way more. I don't need to convince these people to know what metal means to us, because it's way more than music, to be honest with you. It's more like a life experience, right?
Yeah, so
Exactly.
lifestyle. I think that's as well, like the metal community is just this group of super passionate people, very, very kind people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the fact that you kind of have that same interest is very powerful. It's like, because it's very extreme music, and to find like other people also enjoy that. That's like, you're my best friend. Straight away. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see anybody on the street wearing a Justin Timberlake shirt, and then you see another guy wearing a shirt, be like, oh yeah, man. But if you see somebody rocking a Metallica t-shirt, and you see another guy with Slayer, you're like, what's up, brother? You want a beer? There's a connection. You don't have it somewhere else.
That's true.
Exactly. Yeah, true.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting. So what are your main influences from every person? Let's start with Joey. What was when it comes to metal, of course, what was your first band that really got you into heavier stuff?
Actually, you guys are gonna think this is a joke, but the band that got me into heavy stuff was Nickelback. And a lot of people, now I was 8 at the time, but a lot of people don't know the heavy stuff that Nickelback makes. Like they have some metal songs, man. Mm-hmm. So I was liking that. I was like, well, I need some more stuff. And then it was Metallica, and then I really liked Bulletproof and Valentine, like all the riffs. And then as soon as he started screaming, I would skip the song and go to the next one. up until you, like Meryl said, it's like drinking beer. You have to learn to appreciate it. And that's what I did. And then it went fast.
Oh man, yeah.
But yeah, it started with Nickelback, actually. The heavier, when they were still grunge metal.
Right. Yeah, people don't realize that with Nickelback. True, but it's also the same as with, for instance, Creed. Creed is another band like that. Creed is actually pretty good.
Yeah, Creed.
But yeah, Nickelback is like a memed band. Like everyone's just they know the photograph.
I am actually like, I will always say that I think they're incredible. Like they write great music. Chad is incredible vocal. Like,
but everyone's great.
And there's incredible video. What are they covering from Metallica? Jesus, Said the Truth. Yeah. Oh my God! Wow. Like, apart from James, who's obviously awesome at singing his own songs.
Right.
This is absolutely top. Like, I was like, wow. So yeah, I know, like I don't know where the hate towards them is coming from. Maybe they're douchebags. I don't know that, and I've never sort of approached that. But they have. I completely sort of skipped the reason why we hating Nickelback. So apart from obvious songs that drill a hole in your brain, like
Right.
photographed
Right.
and things.
And that's
Yeah, I
that's the
understand.
reason.
Oh,
I
but
guess
That's
I
the
think
only reason.
Yeah, I think so.
it could also be like you know, because a lot of people don't like them. You know, like, yeah, they're not cool, so I'm not gonna like them either. You know, like
Oh, but
maybe
you
it's
should go
that.
to a show, man. They rock so hard.
I
They
think
actually they're a metal band, and then when they have to play all the singles, so they're like playing the singles, and then they go back to rocking. I always said it.
Yeah, I know.
Rocking.
But that's good. That's interesting.
Also,
That's a really interesting point, because of course you have those songs being written for, you know, singles, and then if you
Yeah.
still see the real core within a band, I appreciate that a lot. That's good. But what is really interesting is actually the hate towards Nickelback is not only from people, you know, just fans or normal people, it's also from the music industry itself, different bands. So that's really interesting.
Oh,
Yeah. He had a
Really
big,
from bands, too.
right. Yeah, Corey Taylor had a huge issue with him, like all over the media a few
Oh,
years
really?
ago. Yeah, with Chad.
Oh, I don't know.
maybe they have like an ex-girlfriend involved.
Probably.
well, it's Avril is his ex-girlfriend, isn't it?
Oh yeah, right.
sure if-
Avril Lavigne. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also from
I'm
Corey
not sure.
Taylor.
Corey. No, not from Corey.
No, from Chad,
from-
but
from
yeah.
but I'm not sure if like Corey, well, had something with her maybe as well backstage.
Yeah, maybe. But
Who
everyone had a
knows?
crush on
That-
Avril Lavigne, right? So he's just jealous.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's there is a possibility that that band might be a bit douchey on the road. I don't personally know, and
No,
maybe
I don't.
if one day I'll meet them and they'll like spit in my
You
face.
will ask. So are you
I'll
do
probably
that?
be like, Nickelback, so why everyone hates you? So yeah,
Tell me. Why does everyone hate you? It's a great question.
He's gonna be like,
Great
David,
question.
thanks for asking. Well, first of all,
Yeah.
I'm really a douchebag. Number one.
Yeah.
Number
Yeah.
two.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense now. But yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's never those bands that are not popular. It's always the big ones that people hate. It's interesting, isn't it? No, it's
Yeah.
never really the unpopular bands. Somehow it's always the bands. And let's be honest, Nickelback, if you go to YouTube and check out their songs, how many views they have, some people are liking them, you know, probably even some people that to the outside would say like, I'm not a fan, you know, probably have posters
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, but in the car they are singing out loud. Just like,
Right.
hey, I want to be a rock star.
By the way, guys, sing out loud. You guys know, well, actually, you can't know it because I came up with that, but you guys know the situation. You guys know the Wonderwall syndrome, the Wonderwall Guy Syndrome. You know the song by Oasis, right? Wonderwall.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I said, and if you guys know what I'm talking about, it's going to be amazing because there's always one guy at the party. It doesn't even have to be a party or the park, whatever. It's going to be like, normally has hair till here, you know, walks around like that. And once he sees an acoustic guitar, he's going to be like, you know, hand me the guitar over. I can play the guitar. And everyone else is not familiar with music. So they think just if you know, he can play one chord. Wow, he's amazing. He plays like Jimi Hendrix. And he's always going to play the song Wonderwall. Did you realize that? It's always the same song. Sounds terrible being covered. And the people are like, oh, he's so good. The girls are like, oh, can I have your number? And I'm at the corner like, what's happening here? I mean, it's so ridiculous. It's always Wonderwall.
It is true, especially
Good to know this though.
Huh?
It's good to know this. Like if you want a great pickup line for girls,
Right.
right?
You're gonna learn.
Like only need to learn one thing: is play Wonderwall.
Yeah,
Wonderwall.
just
The
really
guitar.
find the guitar to play Wonderwall for the girls. It's like
I've never
let me
noticed
play
it.
this.
Yeah.
I've never personally
actually
noticed.
like
I didn't know it as well. No.
my
But
great friend is actually always playing one song, and it's Wonderwall.
Yeah.
And I love him dearly, but every time he does that, I want to take his guitar and shove it
I'm
up his
telling you.
rectum.
I'm telling you. And even in the pubs and you know, Irish pubs or something, it's always a Wonderwall every time.
It's Wonderwall syndrome.
Joe is like this. Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. He's noting it.
I stopped going to parties when I couldn't play my metal songs, so maybe that's why
true.
I didn't
That's
notice.
true. Yeah, that's
So
true.
yeah.
Oh man. Anyways,
Wonderwall.
that's
We shouldn't.
it.
Sorry.
No, what's that? Very sorry.
No, I just wanted, that's kind of like an insight, but I said like we shouldn't tell Frank this. And Frank is actually someone who is kind of part of our team. Or kind of,
Yeah,
he is
kind of
our
part of
team.
our team.
And
Well, I didn't sign the contract yet, so yeah.
you know, exactly. He's doing like amazing work with us, and he has a thing for girls, so it's like we shouldn't tell him this.
I was like, how is this connected back to Frank? But
Like,
But if he knows how to play Wonderwall,
yeah,
and we were like, okay, Meryl, what's happening?
yeah, it needs to be like a like a Dutch like country like alarm going off. Everyone like getting their text message. Watch out, guy in the park.
Oh God.
watch out for
Don't
Frank.
get near him. He might play Wonderwall.
Oh man, that's interesting.
And that's Frank then. So sorry.
That's interesting.
I'm just really glad that we got to talk about Nickelback for 10 minutes.
Right,
Okay, yeah.
right.
That's great. I forgot to say Whitesnake when I told, because that's my favorite band.
Whitesnake, interesting.
Yeah, Tommy Aldridge, best drummer ever.
Yeah, I was just listening to them a few days ago during a live stream.
I love it.
Interesting. Yeah. So Meryl, what was your main influence when it comes to metal or hard rock music?
Or main influence.
Or the first band that got you into that, you as a fan?
Got you in.
Well, I don't know. I think that the first band that really like got me hooked and made me a metalhead is In Flames. But before that, when I was like really, really young, of course Linkin Park was out there, and I immediately like loved that. Like One Step Closer.
Yeah.
I was just like blown away by that. And I had like a couple more touches as well, like Rammstein. Really loved that. And but then like I think like when I was like becoming a teenager, you start like developing more your own taste. And I think that In Flames, when I discovered that, I was like, holy yes, this is it. I found my calling.
Holy what?
Yeah. Oh yeah, holy moly.
I didn't even catch it, but that's good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just thinking ahead for when you're editing.
Yeah. Like In Flames, yeah.
In Flames.
Like what was it? Like
Cloud Connected.
Sorry. The Quiet Place.
Right.
Yeah, that song.
But let me do it as well one more time. I'm gonna edit it out. Now we're all good.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we can go.
Every time I'm done with a live stream, I go to Discord. Sometimes we have like a backstage party with some musicians. I'm like, the first day, I was like, finally, right? I can
Finally.
Right. This is so annoying, but that's, of course, I'm going to edit that out. YouTube's going to kill me, but that's the way it has to be, man, unfortunately.
That is.
All right. In Flames. Now, In Flames is another band. I've seen these guys 2004 with Metallica and Slipknot. It was like I think it was my first metal show, like really heavy. I was 17, just turned 17. And they came because they were not supposed to perform. The band that was actually on the bill was Lost Prophets. You remember that crazy band? With the really, really bad guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they got dropped, thank God. And then In Flames came in, and I was watching them. I think I was in the second or third row, and I loved Cloud Connected, just the way it sounded. Din. I was like, wow, yeah, here we go. That was so good.
A super cool period of their music. I think those albums. Oh yeah, I'm with you.
Awesome. Yeah, they changed a bit nowadays, right? The new music. I was listening to them a few years ago, and he cut his dreads. Nothing bad, but then they really went into a different direction. And I realized that with many bands, by the way, many bands did like I don't know exactly what happened, but even bands such as Architects and stuff. I love these guys. But they all went into a different direction almost at the same time.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a very interesting one. I think that Bring Me the Horizon is definitely a trend setting, and I think what's very interesting as well is with these like younger bands. Of course, like we grew up with Linkin Park, so the fact that that's kind of now that story is being retold by us basically, because we're of course heavily influenced by those bands as well. So I think it's very, very interesting to see what's happening with the genre and the newer bands and stuff. But I think that the album, what was it called of them, A Playground Fading, kind of touched a little bit back to their older stuff.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the fans, the fans are always like, man, I want the band to be sounding like they sounded on the first record. They always want that. You always have those people, and then you have other people who like the band to evolve. And I always thought about it being it's almost like if you're a painter, you don't want to paint the same painting over and over again. You need to create something different at one point, but you still should be connected to your core, in my opinion, right?
Yeah, I think it's a very bold. Like I have deep respect for bands who dare to do that. Be like, like let's just what do we want to make, and that you're going to hurt indeed like the core, and the fact that you do that, I think it's you need to dare that as well to be like, hey, we just want to make this music, or this is what's coming out of us right now.
Right.
And I think I always have like deep respect for bands who just do that and can do that and dare to do that. But I get it as well, like if it's total different sound.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but John, what do you think of the change of Bring Me the Horizon? Then do you want them to be a deathcore band? Still?
Thank you for asking me. Thank you very much for asking me. I had this discussion with two people the other day, and Bring Me the Horizon was exactly my example that I brought up. So that's why I was like, yes, Meryl, because I saw these guys live also like 12 years ago, 13 years ago, one of the craziest mosh pits. And then they changed so dramatically that, and again, that was definitely one of the first bands doing that, I think. And the other bands followed for sure. And, if it's sincere, if you go into different direction, because as Meryl said, and you feel in that moment that way, then it's cool, because you can tell if a band fakes it or not. It's all about the emotion, in my opinion. It doesn't matter if it's brutal. Of course, the majority of time, it's normally brutal if you want to, let something out or you're angry. But I don't know. I don't really like their new style. I have to agree. I heard one song by Bring Me the Horizon and Baby Metal, and that was kind of, something like it was actually pretty cool. Actually, Kingslayer, right? And I was like, this is interesting. Now I can really like that, because it was weird. It was new again, and it was also a bit heavy, but it was real. So to reply to your question, yes, man, of course I have a few opinions, but I don't think I can say them out loud. But you guys probably know what I'm thinking right now, why they went that way and why they actually stayed there. But that's another topic.
It's all because of Nickelback. It's all because of Nickelback.
Oh, okay.
Because of the big Nickelback influence.
Big on neck.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that album Sempiternal definitely did something for the scene. I think it's a super, super good album. It's like one of my favorite metal albums, but also I never listened to Bring Me the Horizon, never enjoyed them.
Right.
But that album was just straight from the heart, I think.
Right.
It was super cool, and like a lot of bands like was it Bad Omens? Bands like that are like basically doing that album. And kind of changed maybe like I don't know, started a whole lot of new bands or something.
Right. Yeah, the person was saying the same thing. The person was asking me because, I couldn't believe that everyone has to change. Not every band, but so many bands are changing their style. And then the person, it was a woman, she asked me like, well, Eminem also changed his style. And I was like, yes, but Eminem somehow is still almost getting better and better. And is still, I think, he's still loyal to his core, his main style. But I think once Bring Me the Horizon started that movement, it's just interesting that all the bands went into the same direction, not a different direction. It's never, let's go heavier. It's never that way. Did you realize that? It's never, let's go heavier.
Yeah.
It's always, let's
And
go in
that's a
that
shame.
direction. And that's a shame.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's always one direction, you know.
Yeah, so we're working on new music. So our next album is going to be pop.
Oh, okay.
Dua Lipa all the
Yeah,
way.
so sorry. We'll be back again in a couple of years, and you can roast us for getting too soft.
Hey, we can write a song right now. That's by the way, I love this guy. This goes out to you, Joey. You know all those crazy reggaeton beats, right?
Yeah.
The main reggaeton beat, every song is being written of, is this one.
Yeah. Kasim.
So here you go. That's it. And I told
Yeah,
I told it. I was like, you are right. That's exactly the beat. It's just that's it. It's so simple, but so effective, and every song has that beat, man.
I'm gonna try to feature it on the next album. Just
I hate the reggaeton. Like I said, the only thing I don't like
Right.
in music. That's like the only thing.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice. It's gonna be on the next album.
Okay, David got the blast beat. I will get the reggaeton. That's
No,
fine.
you heard it here first.
I
You
love
heard it here
reggaeton so much.
Blast beat on the first album, reggaeton on the second. Yeah,
Oh, man.
definitely.
Yeah, reggaeton is definitely, I don't even have to argue. It's just so bad. Oh God.
Oh, man, I agree.
Oh man.
Not all of it though.
Oh man.
There are always fans. Not all of it.
I don't know.
No, David is very quiet now. Like he actually loves the reggaeton, but he doesn't dare to share it anymore. Like
Right.
Right. This is the same thing.
David is like,
Nickelback sucks, and it's like
Daddy Yankee CD away, Gasolina away.
Yeah, no, I'll hide my reggaeton collection from you guys when you're here.
All right, David.
Yeah, awesome.
I guess reggaeton was not your influence or your first metal band that got you into metal genre. Which one was your band that you really, or let's say the first one that really changed your taste of music? Because there's always one band that really changes it.
Yeah, I think for me personally, it's must have been Offspring. That because directly before Offspring, I was listening to Aqua, which is the best.
Barbie girl,
band.
Aqua.
Yeah, I had the complete discography. I fell in love with a singer. I can't remember her name, Lena, I think. She was like I had a crush on her like the entire 4 years of their long career. Then I remember getting cassette of Offspring Americana, and that sort of pushed me towards like heavier stuff. Then it was somehow just straight to Metallica, but I guess Black Album, that was very digestible in the time. But the first, I think, like metal that I was like, okay, this, like, I'm into metal, is probably Children of Bodom. So
I expected
yeah.
Slipknot or something. Sure,
No, Slipknot actually came later, much later in a way. I absolutely love their live performances, but yeah, there was Children of Bodom actually, that, because I remember when I was working for my very first guitar, I was going selling ice cream, so I had to cycle. It was like 9 kilometers to the place. It was like a castle that was selling ice cream in. And I just had like Children of Bodom, like all of their albums, everything before Blood Drunk, on repeat, just listening to it back and forth. And I was like, this is the best thing ever. Like Alexi is just insane guitarist, insane vocalist. The songwriting is incredible. And just, I love this. This is my jam. I guess that was the tipping point of the metalhead time.
Very interesting that you actually say Children of Bodom, because that's, in my opinion, a band that people get into later on the road, because it's it's way more complex than the other transitional bands, right?
It's so surprising to see that. I think it's such a melodic band. Like there's like the melodies for days. Like I personally find it like so much more digestible than or like poppy, let's say, in a way, than In Flames, for example. Like
Really?
genuinely, yeah, 100%. If I were to compare, well, not now they're like sort of in the same category for me, but like if I were to come back in time, I'm pretty sure there was a time when I was also listening to In Flames, but I prioritized Children of Bottom because it was much more of like it's melodies, there's everything, and it was more like, yeah, poppy in the sense.
So I think Are You Dead Yet album is super good.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
What is the band that you dragged into metal, John?
It's interesting because the first real rock band was definitely, I think, Queen, like normal rock band. I like Michael Jackson,
awesome.
Bands like that, right? And then Limp Bizkit, Papa Roach came. And we were like 12, 13 when those songs came. It was just so cool, it was just a new thing. And I remember exactly what happened afterwards because it was June 2002, and I was watching MTV, and Korn came with Here to Stay, that song. And I was watching the video, and I was like, what was that? I don't know exactly what it was, but it got me so much. I was like, I need to get this. So I was waiting, every day to the video to come back. And I recorded the video on videotape for everyone who's still familiar with videotape. And I was watching it over and over again because that Dolby surround, they have that 7-string guitar. I was like, wow, this is so... At that time, it was really brutal to me because I was not familiar with that, right? The Bring It Down by Jonathan Davis. It was so cool that I went to the store, bought the CD, and had the CD, Untouchables was the record, in my hand, and I was listening to it. And it was weird because, really, I'm not lying, guys. It was, on the one hand, it was not my genre that I normally listen to. So I felt a bit guilty listening to it because I was the only one in my seriously, nobody listened to metal, but it was just so good. It was like I couldn't resist. I was like, another time, one more time. And after that, definitely Slipknot. Yeah, but Slipknot at that time was not Slipknot like it's nowadays. Slipknot 2002 was the heaviest, till this day. Corey Taylor's voice in 2001 and 2002, his Iowa voice was insane and still is. I was talking to, Vicky about that because that technique, she's also a vocal teacher. That technique that he used there, man, it was just so pure, so raw. You guys you have to check it out, 2001 or something like that, live. It was so heavy. It was not like something like that. It was screaming like he's a lion. It was insane. So till this day, by the way, I think he is still, back then, one of the craziest singers ever.
I agree.
Oh yeah. Corey Taylor is the G.
Right. Awesome. All right, guys.
Definitely.
I got one more question. Future plans.
To wrap it up. Yeah.
Future plans.
I think it's really hard to put any future plans for now because we don't know what the heck is happening with the world. We're really hoping everything's gonna, disappear as soon as possible, and then I guess we can put everything into a bigger perspective. But I'm becoming very pessimistic now because last year I was saying, in January it'll be fine, and here we are. So not even January, I said this, well, in September we'll be fine last year. So I'm literally being very cautious. We working hard with the guys. Whilst we can't be on the battlefield in real life, we are on a digital battlefield every possible time, producing content,
right,
and putting it out there. So we just keep on smashing on that door till it opens.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's of course. Yeah, it's a very negative situation. At the same time, when it comes to creating art, I think we're gonna hear a lot of new music. Bands are now recording double records, stuff like that. So it's gonna be interesting down the road. And I wish you guys, by the way, all the best. I hope to see you guys on the channel again, because Seriously,
Definitely.
this was definitely a pleasure, man, with you guys. Always good to talk to like-minded people. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. And to finish it off, man, I was watching Satellite, and that was such a touching video and lyric, and song and everything just really touched me. Speaking about Alexei, from Children of Bodom, and
Yeah, actually.
right, rest in peace. It's such a bizarre topic, and it's really bizarre because, especially in metal, it happens so often, right?
Yeah, that's very true. It's something that is very underrated, because I guess many drugs are getting are legalized, and they're so overlooked by society that sometimes you don't even realize that some people suffering heavily with that, because it's normal to drink. It's normal to when you're in London, it's normal to use cocaine on almost daily basis and things like that, but it's not normal. And sometimes you dig yourself into a hole that there's no escape. And so it's definitely a topic of discussion for sure.
Yes. Yeah, it's very sad, especially when I was living in the United States for a while, and I remember back then that it was so easy to get prescription pills and everything, painkillers, and that's a huge issue. Because first of all, that really attacks your liver, number one, so you should not drink with that. And number two, it gets you hooked. Everyone is hooked and everyone is addicted to it. It's so weird.
Yeah, like the pharmacies they have there, just like mega stores.
Yeah, CVS,
like
exactly.
one after the other one. Last year, it's just like one pharmacy, a little pharmacy as big as, I don't know, like a boutique shop.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
And there's just like massive, like, economy.
Right.
It is a massive economy anyways, but.
Right. But you're right. Yeah. You're right. They take, and the other thing is they take stuff for everything. Oh, a little headache. Oh, a mosquito bite. It's like they take, people get used to it.
Yeah,
that's true.
And I think sometimes that leads to other drugs. It is what it is. But you're completely right. And I don't want to open that can of worms, because we're going to be here till tomorrow when it comes to the society and the way society looks at drugs and alcohol, because I completely agree. It's so weird. I don't smoke marijuana. I really don't. But how is it possible? That's, illegal, but you can drink 10 bottles of vodka. It's no problem. Like, what is going on? Right?
Yeah.
Right.
There's something very wrong with the world as it is.
Right. I mean, have you ever seen anybody being high fighting other people? Not really often. Have you seen drunks getting into fights every day? This is
yeah.
That's a big problem.
It's the sad truth.
True.
Sad but true.
Right. All right, guys.
Yeah, let's end with the Nickelback cover, and it's all tied together.
Yeah, let's end it with Joey singing his favorite Nickelback song. Go on, one sentence. Yes. Let's go. And I do the beat.
No, I'm not gonna. No, I've
he's
rapped
not a real fan.
I've tried to rap once, and I failed. I'm not gonna sing. Just check out Nickelback, basically.
I will. And guys, check out Symbiose, 12 Years in Exile, Satellite, and of course soon the whole record. Make sure to follow these guys on Instagram. I'm gonna link you guys, and hopefully we're gonna talk again. Really.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for checking out. Really, really appreciate that, and more people like you, John.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, when I started this channel, first of all, I never wanted to be a typical reaction guy. Be like, oh, I like this, and that's it. Because I also played in bands, and what I do now is almost what I did or what I still do on the weekends with my friends. Like we do right now. We talk about music and and so on. So that was one of the reasons, and the other reasons was really much to connect with like-minded people, because that way we talk on the same frequency almost. We understand each other. So I appreciate that. And thank you again to you guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Till next time. Stay safe, guys. All right.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
too, man.
you too,
Thank
man.
you.
Wash your
You
hands.
too.
And
And
catch
wash
you on the
hands.
road. Yeah, right.
Yes.
And I'm frozen
Okay.
there. Interesting. Oh, here we go.
Oh, great. Love it.
There you go.
All right. Goodbye.
Okay, have a great night.
Goodbye, man.
You too.
Bye bye.
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 Bye.